Welcome to Sports Live Media on YouTube. It's your guy Sports Live with another video today. The NFL 2024 season has just officially come out. We now know who's playing who on what day. This video is not going to go over that because we did a previous video basically highlighting each team in terms of who they were playing home and away, and that really doesn't matter what the schedule is. We just know when they're playing. But the purpose of this video is to go over some interesting things that I've noticed with the 2024 NFL football schedule, and it's different things that I'm not used to seeing, but it's probably a sign of things to come in regard to changes that are coming. It's going to be unique in several ways. One, there will be 5 games that will be played in other countries. Let's look at those matchups. September 26th of 2024 will be Green Bay versus Philadelphia. This game will be played in Corinthians Arena in Sao Paulo, Brazil. October 6th, the New York Jets will play the Minnesota Vikings at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London, England. October 13th, the Jacksonville Jaguars will play the Chicago Bears, also at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. On October 20th, the New England Patriots will play the Jacksonville Jaguars in Wembley Stadium in London. November 10th of 2024, the New York Giants will play the Carolina Panthers at Allianz Arena in Munich. There will be 3 NFL games on Thanksgiving Day: Chicago Bears versus Detroit Lions, New York Giants versus Dallas Cowboys, Miami Dolphins versus Green Bay Packers. There will be 1 game on Black Friday, which will be the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Kansas City Chiefs. There will be 2 games on Christmas Day, which will be the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens versus the Houston Texans. Weeks 1 through 16 will be fairly standard game schedule with exception of Thanksgiving. All games on Thursday will air on Amazon Prime. All Monday night football games will air in weeks 1 through 17 on ESPN primarily. Week 18 games, the matchups have been determined, but what time they play or what day of the week they'll be played will be determined after the weekly games, since they try to focus on playoff contenders for prime viewing slots. Some of Week 17 matchups have definitive start times, some don't. The NFL uses flex scheduling to determine start times for those games, meaning the start time is changed last minute per their guidelines that allow them to do so, and they give fans a little bit of advance notice. The playoffs will start immediately after Week 18. The wild card round of the playoffs will be 3 games on Saturday, January 11th of 2025, and 3 games on Sunday, January 12th of 2025. The divisional round of the playoffs will have 2 games on Saturday, January 18th of 2025, and 2 games on Sunday, January 19th of 2025. The conference championships will feature 2 games played on January 26th of 2025. The Super Bowl will be February 9th, 2025, and will be played at the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana. The Christmas Day game will air on Netflix. All other games will air on NBC, Fox, and CBS during normal weeks of the regular season. There will be 2 games that will air on Saturday, December 21st, 2024, which will be the Houston Texans versus the Kansas City Chiefs and Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Baltimore Ravens. Some Monday Night Football games will have 2 games instead of the standard 1. When that happens, they will occur on ESPN and ABC as well as ESPN+. This will happen during weeks 3, 4, 7, and 15. The Black Friday game will air on Amazon Prime. Outside of Thanksgiving and Christmas, NFL games are played on Monday, Thursday, and Sunday most weeks. There are exceptions to this idea. On November 29th, 2024 is Black Friday. Since there's 1 game on that day, it won't interfere with college football. There's limited number of college football games going on Black Friday, since not all games that week in college will be played on Black Friday. They'll be played on Saturday. The NFL generally does not play games on Friday or Saturday, but if they do, they can't be within 75 miles of a high school football or college football game taking place at the same time. Also, the NFL is allowed to schedule Friday games as long as a substantial portion of the game is over by 6 p.m. local time. The reason for the understanding of when games are played is the Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961. This is why Black Friday game can be played, the Saturday games also late in the season. NFL starts scheduling the Thursday after Labor Day, which usually puts the season starting usually the second week of September. The Friday game on September 6, 2024 will air on Peacock. With the exception of this opening game, all of the remaining international games will air on the NFL Network. Let's see. Labor Day this year is September 2nd, meaning the season can start by that point. So NFL used the broadcast rule of 1961, the Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961, to schedule the game on September 6th. It's historic since the last time that there was an opening game that occurred on Friday was in 1970. All of this, again, comes courtesy of the Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961. International games will air on the NFL Network. During normal Sunday games of the NFL, outside of the international games, you'll have 6 to 10 games which will start at noon Central, 3 to 5 games that will start at either 3:05 p.m. or 3:25 p.m. Central, and 1 game at 7:20 p.m. Central through Week 16. For Week 17 and 18 of regular season, the number will vary on the slot time for the start times based on their flex scheduling. The NFL schedule will include Thursday and Monday games through Week 17. The NFL international games being played in London or Munich will have a kickoff time at 8:30 a.m. The international game that's taking place in Sao Paulo, Brazil, has a start time of 7-something Central, and it's only 1 hour ahead of Eastern time in regard to where that's played. Each team in the NFL will play 17 games in 18 weeks during the regular season. The only other oddity I could see is in Week 1, 8, 14, and 17 on NFL game. On those weeks, there will be 1 game from the NFL, and they will air on ESPN and ABC simultaneously. That is typically called a simulcast, and at the same time. In simple terms, 1 game airing on 2 networks at the same time. That's what they call a simulcast when you have multiple networks carrying 1 game. It's also not common to do that within standard cable television or broadcast television. It's more common to see that on the streaming networks, the various streaming sites that you have with Peacock, Amazon, Netflix, Hulu, and many of the other streaming places that you see. Anyway, we're not going to go over again the week-by-week schedule on who's playing who each week, because we've already gone over who each NFL team will be playing home and away. But I thought when I found this information regarding the 2024 schedule, I thought it would be appropriate to mention about the normal things, the odd things, and just things out of the ordinary, or just other things that I noticed regarding the 2024 NFL football schedule. Also, it is to note that with the way the NFL schedule is working this year, the Kansas City Chiefs will have a game every day of the week this season except on Tuesday. They'll play, and it's just all based off of holidays and everything else. So, they'll get to play a game at some point during the season, at least representing every day of the week except on Tuesday. Anyway, thank you for taking the time to hear about the normal things, the unusual things, the odd things, and other points of interest for the 2024 NFL football season. If you will, please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button, please hit the notification bell so you can be made aware of when I'm going over certain things regarding unusual things for the NFL football schedule, when I have sports education videos, when I have sports action videos, when I'm broadcasting live, or when I have sports action videos that will be here. I'll also be broadcasting live at some point. Anyway, thanks and have a great day.